Hey there and welcome back to Hey Birdie. If you are brand new to this channel, hello and welcome. My name is Bird. I am a mom to 3 amazing children and I have a crazy house full of pets. So I post a lot of mom type content, cleaning videos, hauls, routines, things like that. So if you enjoy that type of content, definitely come and hang out with me more often by clicking that subscribe button as well as click that notification bell. So today I am sitting down about to film a completely different type of video, and as I sat down I got a text message from a friend asking for some help, some advice. She's going through some anxiety issues and she is not the only one. I feel like I have had so many of my mom friends and even friends on YouTube have expressed they're going through this like time of anxiety in their life. So I just felt like I needed to talk about it. So before I actually get into this video, I wanted to talk about one thing that I've also been seeing a lot on Instagram, particularly lately, and that is saying that anxiety is trendy. It's like the thing that everybody's posting about or talking about. And I do not believe that it is a trend or a fad or something that people talk about just so they can be cool or whatever. I think that a lot of people now more than ever are affected by it. We are constantly being thrown and fed all of this information at once, and a lot of that information is given to us in either a scary or negative way. It's hard to be a positive person or see positivity when all of this information coming at you is being thrown at you in like a negative context. So I think that's why we have such an increase in anxiety in our generations. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there before I got into the video. So with that being said, just a small little backstory. I have struggled and dealt with anxiety and depression my whole entire life, basically. I think the anxiety probably started around the age of 5 and depression around, I don't know, probably 4th grade. So what is that, 9 years old? Now, I didn't realize it at the time. My parents didn't realize it at the time. So things just kind of progressively, over a long period of time, got worse and worse until probably starting in high school, it became apparent, I think, to my parents that I was dealing with depression. And I did not realize I was having any type of anxiety issues until much later on, until I was well into adulthood. So during those years, especially when I was first discovering that this was something I was dealing with, I was prescribed numerous different medications and whatever, and I think as they can be very helpful to many people, it was just not something that was helpful to me in any way. I have now been off of any type of medication for several years, probably around 10 years or so, and then I have been depression free for probably around that same time, maybe a little less than that, so maybe like 8 or 9 years. 5 or 6 years ago, somewhere around there, I found out that I had a couple of brain aneurysms, and finding that out, I became even more anxious than I ever was before. I mean, it was so bad. I remember there were times I sent myself to the hospital because I was sure I was dying. I mean, I had had anxiety attacks in the past, but these felt so different. They felt like I knew for a fact I was dying, and yeah, anyway. I'm only telling you this so you kind of understand that I've been there and I know what it feels like, and I know that it is something that really can affect your everyday life in a major way. So that is the only reason why I am telling you my personal story. I do not want like a pity party or anything like that because yeah, I have been anxiety free now for just under 2 years. I want to share with you just some of the ways that I overcame my anxiety. So tip number 1 is to take care of yourself. especially in motherhood. Becoming a mom in general, if you already have anxiety, can really elevate those anxious feelings and your worries and things like that. So I think it's so important to remember that being a mom and being responsible for little humans is amazing and wonderful and should definitely be something that you take seriously, but it doesn't mean that you should forget about yourself. This is something that I fell victim to after I had Gavin, I think. But please know that whether you're a working mom, a stay-at-home mom, a work-from-home mom, whatever your situation is, you are worth care too. You are worth care and you are worth love from yourself. So please do something every single day to take care of yourself. Go get your hair done or your nails done, or if you can't get out of the house and do those things, then do them yourself. Give your hair a good scrub. Paint your nails. For me, I take my bath every single night. That's where I unwind, it's where I relax and just detach from all of the day's chaos. And sometimes I will just meditate for a while, which leads me right into tip number 2, which is meditation. If you are unfamiliar with meditation, if you've never personally tried meditation, I would highly, highly recommend it. And if you do not know where to start, I think that Headspace is a great place to start, as well as YouTube has amazing people that film guided meditations. Aaron Dowdy is someone, he doesn't really have too many like anxiety-based meditations, but if you're just looking for meditations, yeah, there are a ton of guided meditations. If I can find the ones that I used to listen to, I will link them down below for you. But I mean, there are so many resources on like free guided meditations that are actually very helpful and very calming. So definitely meditate, clear your thoughts. When you're dealing with anxiety, I think it is so easy to go one of two ways. You either chase your thoughts and just feed into them and let them like run wild in your mind, or you try so hard to resist them that they fight back. And the more you try to resist those negative thoughts, the more they keep coming at you. So meditation is a great way to just quiet all of that inner chatter, and you can learn to really just observe all of your thoughts from an outside perspective and not attach yourself to them. So anyway, tip number 3, go and read The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. 18 to 20 months ago, we were vacationing in Hawaii, and I was like so terrified to fly home. And I mean, I've flown and had anxiety, but this particular trip, I did not want to go home, and it wasn't because I was having such a great time, which I was, but it wasn't because of that. I was just so incredibly paralyzed by my fear of flying. I felt like I could not go home. So anyway, one night we were over at Barnes & Noble, and this book, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein, was like screaming at me. I wasn't even trying to buy a book. We were there for the kids, and I picked it up and read it that whole night. I stayed up all night and read it, and I don't know, I felt like it gave me so much clarity. And the things that, you know, when you try and you're in the midst of anxiety and your thoughts are going crazy, and you can try to like reason with yourself and give yourself all of these logical reasons to like discredit your fears, but for some reason your brain isn't responding to that logic. It's just like, no, you're scared, like that's how it is, like we're gonna eat at your mind. But this book was really allowed me to take my fears and refocus that energy on positive thoughts in place of those. So it wasn't about like chasing those negative thoughts away or like resisting them or anything like that. It was just transforming them into something positive. So this book really kind of taught me how to do that, and hopefully it can do the same for you. If you've read it or you are going to read it, definitely let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Tip number 4 is to detach from the thing called anxiety. I don't believe that we as people can have anxiety. It's not something that we possess. It's not something that we hold. And I think when we tell ourselves, I have anxiety, it creates this inner story within us that it's controlling us, or whatever, we own it or it owns us. Either way, just detach from that stigma altogether. Start to tell yourself a different story. Instead of saying, I have anxiety, maybe tell yourself, like, hey, this is a tough time for me right now. I have got some like crazy fears about this or negative thinking about this, but I'm looking for new ways to overcome that negative thinking and that fear-based mindset. And as you start to detach from anxiety kind of controlling your life, you begin to control your own life and your own thoughts, and it doesn't own you anymore. It has no power over you anymore. And my 5th and final tip is exercise. Now, I am not one to enjoy exercise whatsoever. I was always the kid in high school who had cramps or a headache or anything to avoid sweat. I was definitely getting out of it. But recently I have started going to the gym, and this was after I had already kind of come out the other side of my anxiety. But after I started going to the gym on a more regular basis, which is only 2 days a week, I know that it's not that much, but I've also been going on regular walks. I have been feeling so much better and so much of a better mental space. And I think the reason for that, and something that will definitely help you out with your anxiety, is that exercising and doing physical activities will raise the dopamine in your body, which is the happy hormone, and it will lower your cortisol, which is your flight or fight. You get what I'm saying. It will lower that hormone and raise the dopamine. So that in itself will just naturally make you feel better. It'll make you feel better and be in a better mood, which will allow you to maintain a better mindset for yourself. So those are my 5 tips on beating and overcoming anxiety. I really hope that somewhere in some way this video has helped even just one person a tiny little bit. You guys, I could really probably talk about this topic all day long, because this is something that for a long time did control my life, and it just feels so good to have it not control my life anymore. So if you have any questions or want to share any of your own tips or own advice, definitely leave comments down below, because I'm sure other people watching this video would love to hear your tips and suggestions as well. But please be sure to keep it all positive. I will be moderating, just due to the topic of this, could be triggersome for some people. So yes, keep it very positive and light and uplifting, and also feel free to DM me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would love if you would do that now. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!